join me in welcoming Robbie. Robbie will be the moderator for the panel session. Can I have the speakers there on stage, please?
When you're looking at China, you really need to start looking through a different set of eyes and looking at a different even set of timetable. I'd like to pick up what Kestrel said before about he can create a campaign. It is possible to create a campaign and execute it in a matter of weeks in China. This is something that's still a concept that I think a lot of Australian businesses still need to get through. Also, if you're going to be hiring staff to represent your brand over there, they need to be up to pace. Just wanted to show you one slide, particularly. This is something that I've actually been really pleased to see. It's actually been echoed by just pretty much everyone today. It doesn't matter if you're selling boats, aeroplanes or bananas. What we've found in our experience is most international brands, in fact all of them, still if they're new to China, they have to go through the 5 steps. The 4 steps, the 5 steps, doesn't matter how you put them, they're still the same. The first thing is look before you leap. If you haven't done business in China before, get some research done. Spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Use people like Mark. Use people like market research companies out there. They will save you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They will save you thousands of hours. So guys, do invest in market research. The second one is then build your China-friendly web pages. In other words, just to second our last speaker here, sorry, Colin, was saying, think outside the box, redesign your brand for the Chinese, and they will actually appreciate that. Then once you've done that process, then you have to go through the paperwork process. I like to say that China invented paper, and China's very proudly invented paper, but also they invented paperwork. It does take it, you have to account that, take that into account. Then you can get starting with online management. So guys, if you just look at the 5 steps for SEO, or as what we call the 5 steps for SEO, the 5 steps or 4 steps. But I mean, if we have to drill something into you today, it's this. Go through the motions and you will succeed. And don't assume things about China. That's another thing. Okay, just leading off with the questions. I'm very pleased to see that Tmall has opened up to international sales. Can I just have a quick question? Are they pricing the same for internationals to set up accounts? Is the pricing to set up the same for international sellers?
Yes, generally it's the same. So you still need to have the deposit. They still take your transaction account, a percentage as a transaction amount. Basically, very, very similar. Just the qualification is different.
Okay, and the setup time, same?
Setup time, again, is quite similar. But then, again, for many international companies, in order for them to set up, there are certain hurdles that we have found. Say, for example, one of our customers, it takes them time to deposit the money from the corporate account overseas into, say, Alipay in order to pay up for the deposit. Stuff like that they may still find there's still pretty much a China process in between.
Okay. Okay.
And also they will actually still require you to do certain things. As I said, because we're selling to Chinese consumers, they still need you to have all the things in Chinese. You still need to have the Chinese user interface. As one of the things that they mandatory is that you need to have a local Chinese address for them to return their goods. So you can ship your goods from overseas to China, but they would not allow you to just ask the customer if they want to return the goods to ship back to overseas. They have to ship back to a place in China.
Interesting. Can we just open up questions to the floor, please? I know everyone's getting tired out there. Yes, we have a hand up over there. Please stand up.
If you have a website that is hosted on a platform like Amazon Web Services or something like that, does that work well in China, or is that the same as a Facebook where the technology that's hosting your website may cause it to be blocked from being seen?
You mean hosted in Amazon in China or hosted with Amazon outside China? Because Amazon has presence in China as well.
Oh, say outside.
Outside. Well, obviously then that would be a big hurdle because Amazon outside China do not accept the local Chinese payment and all those things. It's not geared towards the Chinese audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, we are ticking for time. Just stand up and please, your name is?
My name is Anne. I'm from
Servcorp, Anne from Servcorp. Okay.
Just got a question for Leo, actually. It's about Youku and Tudor. I know as a product itself, it's brilliant. However, the juice about YouTube, which we cannot use in China, is that it got a integration well integrated with Google. So I'm just wondering how Youku and Tudou is integrated with Baidu or any other search engines in China while you are, advertising or put your company videos on it.
Thank you for the question. Actually, this is a very interesting question. We realized that the alliance with Google and YouTube, and actually 3 years ago, we already started to work on a Seoul video search engine called Soku. I hit the slide just to save time. This is one very powerful in-app, I should say, or on-site or in-app search engine only for video. It doesn't only cover Youku and Tudou. It covers all the major video sites in China. Meaning, if you search, I don't know, Chow Yun Fat or Kung Fu Panda, in terms of celebrities' names or movies' names, you can find actually a lot of these relative contents on this search engine. So we have already a very powerful video search engine inside. And also, as I said, in terms of mobile, we're having more than 55% search is on mobile, in-app, in application. So we don't really much rely on the PC or traditional search engine like Baidu or Sogou. And the second point I would like to build on is that maybe you already know that Baidu actually has a subsidiary video sites called iQIYI. A lot of big companies like Tencent as well as Sohu, they have their own video sites as well, but this is acting as a supporting role instead of us, like what we are doing, nothing but video. So they are having a supplementary role in there. And according to our search, actually it's a third-party research project saying that a lot of people who are addicted or heavy users of video, they actually type in Youku and Tudou at the very beginning instead of going to Baidu or search engine to find where I can actually find videos, because they are already, Youku and Tudou is already so well known that people know this is a primary source to search for video. And some people actually quite used to Baidu. They are more for information in terms of text and pictures and a general. Under the Baidu search base, there's a lot of little tab, so that you can actually find a lot of like Baike, all this kind of thing. They are looking for more general information beyond video. So in terms of video, we are always a very integrated single source. That's the difference I'm explaining in 2 points. Does it answer your question? Cool, thank you.
Yes.
I've got a question for Leo. So basically, I was wondering for brands, what are the implications for brands to produce content in Tudou and Youku? Because you just said that user-generated content and interesting entertainment pieces are most popular ones working on online in the online space. What does it mean for brands?
Actually, user-generated contents are something that we really cannot control. This is really user-generated. What we can do is how we elevate user-generated contents from true users to professional. We have a new name called PGC, Professional Generated Contents. We have already leveraged very successful video campaigns with Oreo, with Pepsi Cola. And a lot of big brands are having these resources. They actually, at the beginning, they have a theme. For example, Pepsi, this year and last year, they have a home season at the Lunar New Year of China. It is very common that people from all over the country, taking train and planes, going back home and visiting their parents. This is a traditional. They know, they understand, they respect this tradition, and they want to leverage this one. And then, first of all, they had a little micro movie having all these celebrities and talking about this theme. And then, leveraging on the mass resources of UGC contents, we collect a lot of touching movies or touching stories from common users. And then they have also this kind of theme telling about the warm stories, missing parents, longing to go home even though they didn't have enough money. They can only afford going home in 3 to 4 years. And all these things come together. And then we generated 2 or 3 micro movies according to these raw materials. You know, the story can be really touching, but maybe the raw or the original contents generated by user can be really rough. You can, maybe it's only like a 20 or 30 second, you know, self-talking thing. But how we can elevate and make it a really good-looking, touching story, that's what we do. And then supporting that little micro movies generated by the brand, that maybe more like a long TVC. We don't want to, you know, we want to build a bridge between this long TVC, you know, showing a lot of celebrities, Lay's, Pepsi, Cola, all this kind of thing, putting all the products together. We would like to build the connection between a long TVC and the foundation user feelings, so that we put together in middle, and we do a lot of promotion in middle professional generated content. People like this, and they automatically find this, you know, this mechanism, and then there's no way that they will miss the Pepsi brand video. So this is how we connect brand content with user-generated content. I'll just give you an example. There's a lot of ways to do it.